What's up, interwebs? It's your realtor, Jeremy. It's Tuesday. It's time for the Tuesday market update. This week, we're going to take a look at the often ignored by me cities of Maricopa and Buckeye on the west side. All right, first we're going to look at Maricopa, which is definitely South Valley. It's just a little bit off the valley. I think if there weren't Indian reservations, like the Gila River Indian reservations there, I think we would have more kind of connectedness between like Chandler, South Phoenix, and that area of Maricopa. But let's look at it. Great values out there for bang for your buck, but you do have a little bit of a commute if you work in the valley. But if you work remotely, might be a great option for you. So take a look at the graphs first of all. As you can see, new listings actually up above the solds and the actives, which is why we have just under 1 month of inventory down there. You see the listing prices have pretty steadily climbed over the last year, basically since February. And funny thing, we don't even see a drop off in price there during the kind of the initial like March and April of COVID. We did see the new listings tank off, but pretty much everything else, or sorry, the active listings drop, but pretty much everything else stayed fairly steady. This one's the fun numbers. So we have, yeah, here it is. Average sale price of $274,891, up from $228, 20.5% appreciation. But we all know that's a little bit off. So let's look, and we're looking at a 12% appreciation year to date. 254, 628, up from 226, 237. So still really great appreciation out there. But yeah, that one's funny, 20.5%. Days on market are less than half of what they were last October. And then the spread of houses out there, as you can see, there's really nothing over 500,000. Only 3 houses sold for up to 500,000. We did sell quite a few more, 212 versus 179 last year. And the bulk of the houses were in the 250 to 300 range. So you can see that actually ticked up. The previous year it was the 200 to 250 range. So that's where you're seeing that appreciation kind of pushing through. But again, really good values out there. If you don't need to drive into town for work, or you don't mind a longer commute, there's some really good values out there. You can get a lot of bang for your buck. All right, next we're gonna look at Buckeye. And Buckeye's one that it's one of the fastest growing because it was on the edge of town and they were starting to build out. They've got these really nice areas like Verrado that have come into play. But I don't do a lot of business out there. If I get a lead that comes in through our website looking for Buckeye, I'm generally gonna hand it off to one of our agents that's on the west side of town. I will work out there if it's a referral or something like that, but I'm just not as familiar with what's going on in Buckeye. Because Buckeye is like Santan Valley, just on the complete other side of the Phoenix metro area. But anyway, looking at the graphs here, we can see there's a lovely convergence of new listings, active, sold that happened last month in October. Inventory is about a month. And then you can see the sold price has gone up pretty consistently, but it did trail off a touch in October. Buckeye average sale price was $313,500, up from $285,57, about 11.75% change. And in this case, it's almost identical to the year-to-date number. Year-to-date number $296,404, up from $266,631, about 11.17% change. And then the days on market are down from 54 last year. They're down to 34, so about a 37% change on that. And then spread of houses, as you can see, there are a few more higher priced in Buckeye. You've got all the way up to $750 that were sold out there. Now again, we're talking, Buckeye's a huge area, and they had 287 houses sold. There's a lot of new builds happening out there, and those numbers won't necessarily be reflected in these numbers here. But the bulk of houses, 250 to 300. But again, as you can see, if you look at last year's number, the highest number of houses sold in a particular price point all shifted up a price point. So last year it was 200 to 250. This year it's the 250 to 300. So that's showing that shift in home value. Still some good deals to be had out there though. It looks like one sold for 60 to 70,000, probably a mobile home. But anyway, the other thing I noticed when I was looking at the numbers is Buckeye is showing lower pendings than last year, which is what I'm seeing in a lot of other areas, which makes me think there's a little bit of some slowdown. Maricopa wasn't necessarily that way, and if a house goes on the market right now that's like super fixed up to the nines, it's still moving really, really quickly, but there's definitely a lot less traffic. I noticed that on my new listing that I put on this weekend that already went under contract. I think if I put the house on, if it had been ready to go a month ago, it would have probably had 2 or 3 times the number of showings. But at the end of the day, we still got the house under contract, and my client is super excited. So anyway, that's it for this week. Take a look. I sometimes get a bad rap because I ignore some of the outlying cities. I ignore the west side cities a little bit. I know I need to do more of them. I'll try. But anyway, I appreciate you guys checking in and watching this week's update. We'll see you guys next week on the Tuesday market update. It's going to be the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. Very exciting. Maybe I'll do something turkey related. We'll see. See you guys next week. Bye.